All right. Well, hey, everybody. It is so great to be back with you and to be live with Trans Northland, though today's is a recording, but we are super excited to be coming back with these community conversations where we invite in cool, amazing community member guest stars to talk about the cool, amazing things they're doing out there because we really want you to know about them. And we want folks in our community to have places to connect and to feel like they know folks. And so anyways, I'm so excited to be back here live with Trans Northland after taking the summer off. My name is Sean Hayes. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I'm a co-founder and the executive director here at Trans Northland. And yes, I'm just gonna bring on our incredible guests now because we are super excited to be joined by friends Del and Kristy from the Duluth Superior Pride Committee. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, friends and furry friends who may join broadcast.
Sal is the Duluth Superior Pride mascot. He's very important to this endeavor. Just FYI.
So important. The furry friends are. So yeah, well, thank you so much, both of you, for taking the time on a Sunday for us. We're coming to y'all on a Wednesday if you're watching this now, but we are on a weekend, and I know these two and their whole team are pretty busy because Duluth Superior Pride is in 2 weeks. Is that right? Oh my God.
Less than 2 weeks away.
A week and a half, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. How does it happen? I don't know. Time flies, and the summer sure seems to fly around here. But, well, yeah, let me take a minute, something in my eyeball, to have y'all introduce yourselves. And you can kind of, tell us your name, pronouns, and just really anything you want to share about yourself, about being a part of this community or fun hobbies, whatever it is. I always love to hear what folks say. So Del, can we start with you?
Yes. Hi, my name's Del, they, them pronouns. I'm one of the co-chairs this year along with Kristy. Very excited to be a part of the Pride community and help run Pride this year. Yeah, it's all really exciting. I don't really know. I'm terrible at saying things about me, as everyone who knows me knows. But yeah, I am very excited. I have done events a lot in the past, so I'm really excited to do another outdoor event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. Kristy's turn.
Yes, thanks, Del. Kristy, tell us more.
I am Kristy Johnson, and I am this year's co-chair along with Del. I am also the vendor coordinator. So all of those vendors, which I'm super excited because we have a lot. What else? I was involved with Pride. I was co-chair about 10 years ago as well. Moved away, came back. Now I'm back in Pride. I don't know. That's about it. I worked at a bunch of different places around town, so if I look familiar, that's probably why.
I know. I feel like, Kristy, you and I never really knew each other very well, but in my early 20s, I spent most of my time at the Superior Flame, and I feel like I definitely saw you there and out and about in community. And Del, you're newer to our community here, right? How long has it been now that you've been in Duluth?
So I moved to Duluth in April of 2025, so it's been about a year and a half, less than that. I got involved with another local nonprofit, Black Boots, which is a leather queer group in the Twin Ports area. I actually met Kristy about 2 weeks before we both went out and got elected ourselves co-chairs, and now we're best friends. Yeah, we and Black Boots members made that introduction to us. And so yeah, I'm very involved in the queer community. I like helping them organize their amazing and creative ideas so that they happen.
Yes. And actually that reminds me too. So is it just the two of you are co-chairs, and then Okay. So I know in the past there's been at times 3 or 4 co-chairs, only one. And we were sort of talking before we started this recording about how the two of y'all sort of have a really nice balance between Kristy, you have so much history with this community and with Duluth Superior Pride itself. And like, because of that, you have all of these connections and like bridges you've built in community, which is so important when you're trying to put something on like this and keep things fresh and keep involving like new folks who are kind of coming out into community. And then Del, you are just like an administrative like wizard, I swear, like the details you think about. And for those who don't know, Del helps out with Trans Joy Fest this last year and helped us with our clothing giveaway, which is a massive thing to sort of coordinate, getting clothes here and there and sorting them and then getting them to the park and like, yeah. So just like I don't know, a very nice balance, it seems like, between the two of y'all. And it seems like you have fun and you like are laughing a lot while you're doing it.
Oh, definitely. If you're not laughing and having a good time, what's the point?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I know how I go about anything in my life. If I'm not having a good time, I'm done.
Yeah. It's a really good balance that we have of like, sometimes I get too into the like, what is every single like line item I need to do, and Kristy's the one that's like, oh, and we could do this, and like, I can make that happen. Hold on, let me get a spreadsheet.
I do have a similar love of spreadsheets, not gonna lie.
So useful.
They must be color coded as well.
Well, yeah,
it's fun.
And anytime you can get them to auto fill things in, it's so great.
Oh, see, I need to up maybe you and I need to get together and do some spreadsheet training.
Classes. Yeah.
Oh
you
my
have
God.
fun with that.
Spreadsheet
Right?
workshop.
You're like, don't call me.
Don't invite me.
Oh my gosh. Or if we do call you, you could just sit there and look pretty and like just checking. Like, y'all need to take a
Sit
break.
in the corner and drink beer. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Kristy will be like the like cheerleader in the back.
Yeah.
You can do it. Make that spreadsheet.
Look at edited
Love
up right.
that.
Good job.
I think it's
my
great.
gosh. Yeah. Well, you know, on that note, I mean, laughing, we got to stay laughing these days. Things are stressful on so many levels. I mean, we don't need to get into all of that right now, but yeah, laughing and I think joy and like trying to hold on to hope feels so much more important nowadays than maybe a couple years ago, or, you know, and so we always like to start off our conversations with our guests with our Gender Joy segment. And so for folks in the trans community, you may have more heard of this as like gender euphoria, sort of what we're talking about. It's like any moment of feeling where you just feel at home in yourself, in your body, in your gender expression, you know, wherever you are, if it's out in nature, you know, there's so many ways that gender impacts our lives, and trans folks and gender expansive folks are really good at sort of noticing those things. And at the same time, I always love to share, like, cisgender folks, you also have gender joy all the time. Like, you get a new dress, you find a new, you know, wardrobe, there's some new fun color that you love, you know, whether it's pink or blue or purple, you know, so there's all these moments where we can experience these joys, be it big or small. For trans folks, it could be transition related stuff, or it could just be, I painted my toenails and I was a little nervous about it, but then I'm really glad I did it, you know? So anyways, so I would love to open it up to y'all. Kristy, do you want to start this time? Sure. I'm putting you on the spot, but
no, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I did actually, being a cisgendered woman, I was like, I don't know if I should answer that question, you know. But then when I talked to Sean, and it's like, okay, I get it. You know, and I think for me, it's I'm a little bit of a weirdo, and I revel in the fact that I'm a weirdo, you know. And I'm at the moment, you know, I had mentioned that I had moved away and came back. And when I was gone, I lived out in the middle of nowhere and, was always working in the garden or working around the thing, camp and things like that. And so, I never was dressed up. I was never had my hair. I literally shaved my head and just was like, why? Because I was in Southern Arizona. So it's hot. Just shave my head off or shave my hair off. So, I wasn't really concerned about my looks or anything anymore because I didn't go anywhere. And then when I moved back, since I've moved back, I have kind of gotten back into that. No, you know what? I like to look pretty. I like, I put my dreads back in. I haven't had my dreads in years and years. And I feel like myself again, and, I wear makeup every now and then now. And when I go out, and I had been getting clothes that I think are cute and things like that. And I'm just kind of working my way back into that. And it's very enjoyable. It brings me a lot of joy. So
yes, I love that. Thanks for sharing. And it's interesting. I don't know if I've thought about this, but it's like, yeah, there's different seasons in our lives where it's like, that was the style. That's how I expressed my gender back then. Now it's, it's always sort of fluctuating. For some more than others, right? Some folks keep their same look and, all of that. But I love that for you because there's nothing better than just being able to feel like this is me. I feel good in me and just living life that way. How about you, Del?
Yeah, mine actually, my gender joy for this week was actually yesterday. And I went to brunch with two of some really close friends, and we were talking about pronouns. And they're not trans, and so they were asking questions about neuro pronouns and how grammatically that works, because they're just trying to figure out how to because they get tripped up when they're using the correct pronouns, but they're just not sure how to phrase it in the sentence. And I was able to just sit with them for a long time and help them navigate it. And it just made me really happy because it's me expanding on my own community, helping other people be understood. And it just makes me feel more like myself when I'm able to incorporate who I am into what I'm saying and into the interactions I'm having. And one of the just really fun things with this group of people, for anyone who doesn't know me, I can be a little bit of a brat to my friends. Only a little bit. If they tell you I'm a lot, they're definitely lying. But one thing they do to try to make fun of me back is instead of good boy or good girl, they're good person. But we all end up laughing at it because it just doesn't sound quite right for what they're trying to do. But it makes me happy every time they say it. So it makes us all laugh, but it has the opposite effect that they wanted, which just makes it all the better because it's brat. And so that kind of all goes into the just finding my own place in the community and who I am as well, and being able to express that. So, yeah. What about you, Sean? What was your gender joy?
Ooh, yeah. Mine sort of feels like a silly thing, and I've been trying to just sort of embrace more silly in my life over the last couple of years. Because I need it. I feel like I spend so much of my life being so serious all the time and doing all the things. And it's man, no, I need to have a little more fun. Anyways, so long story short, my car stopped working last week, which was a big bummer. But I ended up getting a rental car and whatever. I'm going online, I'm doing this reservation for a rental car. It's the cheapest option, economy, whatever. And I get there to pick up this car and, we're doing the stuff. We go outside to walk out. And it's sort of this little kind of sporty looking gray and black car, which I've never really in my life ever driven a car like that. I think it was a Hyundai Sonata, but it was kind of cool. It is. I still have it for another day. But I was driving out to my folks, and there's a certain way I like to drive where it's very wooded, kind of a nice winding long road. And I was sort of messing with the AC, and then I just sort of thought, no, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna roll all the windows down, which is something I never do. I had been like wearing a hat because I had like woke up and had weird bed head, and I was like, take the hat off, and I just like blasted music and drove down the road with all the windows down, and for whatever reason it brought me so much joy. And I think part of it, I was thinking about it this morning, is I remember my dad, when we were growing up, he had, I don't even know what it would be. All I remember is it's a Saturn. I don't know anything else. And I just remember it being like a red, little tiny old Saturn. And I just thought, that's the coolest car ever. And, you know, and so there's probably something in me where it's like masculinity and like that feels good in me, and getting to drive this cool car. And I don't know. I can't always explain it, but it felt really joyful. And I'm really glad I did that.
Yes.
I think I'm going to do it again before I bring it back.
Long drives with music blasting is always my favorite thing.
It's the best. I've literally discovered this for myself, kind of thanks to COVID, because there was really no way to get out and about. And so I would just go drive, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, well, thanks so much, y'all, for taking the time to think about that. I mean, like I said, I think if we can see those sort of silver lining, gender joyful moments more, maybe that sort of boosts all of the joy. And, you know, so yeah, I love that. Thanks for sharing, y'all. And then usually now we would be going into a section where we would be talking about cool events coming up, but we've got a focus here, if you're not if you haven't noticed. So we are going to be talking about all Duluth Superior Pride events coming up in less than 2 weeks. I counted them up. There are like 28 events happening, like starting on Tuesday going through Monday. So it is almost a full week of events, and so we're gonna get into more of that very soon here. But yeah, so we're gonna jump into our conversation with these two lovely humans. And so to start us off, the first prompt I'm gonna throw up here is, so for those who don't know, or maybe are new to the area, or haven't been around the area in a while and are like, what's going on with Pride? Yeah, can y'all tell us about what is Duluth Superior Pride, and what's all going on?
Well, as Sean said, there's a lot going on, but we have a lot of very exciting things. So the biggest thing is this year is the 40th year of Duluth Superior Pride. It's actually one of the oldest prides in the country. This is our fantastic logo our designer Nick came up with for this year. And so very excited to be celebrating 40th years. It's a very historic year for us. And Pride, it's, as the name says, it's both in Duluth and in Superior. We try to get the community engaged as much as possible. A lot of ways we do that is a variety of types of events. So we have drag shows, art shows, bars, endeavors. I don't know, there's so many things going on at the bars these weeks. They all have their different themed nights. And then we also have a lot of outdoor events this year, which is really exciting. I believe we have 4 outdoor focused events. And then a lot of all ages, family friendly events as well. So doing our best to kind of find a little something for everyone, to just be able to join up with the community, have a good weekend, and get to see people, meet new people, and just feel seen and heard. So.
Community, everybody getting together for community, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you were saying the history, historically, speaking of which, history is going to be a big focus this year at Pride. We've got our history tent up with a wonderful historian that we have from the committee. And we're going to have volunteers that are sitting in the tent that are going to come and just spill the tea about back in the day and all this kind of stuff. So living history. Treader collection will be right next to our history tent. So that's going to be interesting as well. So yeah, lots of history. History is important. How we got here, how we got to where we're at.
And part of the way we're honoring that is Bob Jansen, who is one of the original organizers of Duluth Superior Pride, is our Grand Marshal of the Pride Parade this year.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're doing it's really important to celebrate the big things, and the fact that we've had this Pride for 40 years is a huge thing. So really bringing history as much to the front as we can. When you walk into the festival, to your right, that's where the Pride History tent will be. And yeah, just go and gossip with a bunch of people that know all things queer related.
I believe Bob has a shift in the tent too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I know Elvin does. Elvin will be driving him in the parade, who the owner that used to be the owner of both of the Flames in Duluth and Superior. So
that's right. Yeah, and I think it's so interesting. I mean, 40 years. I mean, this is a weird year of sort of anniversaries. I mean, I was just talking to friends the other day about the 4th of July and the whole 250 years of America thing. And then, Trans Joy Fest, we celebrated our 5th year. And I was thinking, man, okay, 40 years is such a huge feat. I'm not good at math, but I don't know when that was. Was that in the 70s?
80s?
Yeah.
80s. Yeah.
I'm going to turn 40 next year. Only 40. And it also makes me think, we were just up at Two Harbors Pride, which I think this was their 3rd year hosting a Pride event in Two Harbors. And then there was just the Iron Range Pride event happening up north. And that's only happened for a couple of years. And so it feels pretty awesome. I mean, and again, it's we don't think about the history. We don't think about, or I think it's so easy for us to take for granted the fact that there has been a Pride group, a community of folks planning this event and trying to build community for 40 years in this area. It's so cool.
Well, to think too, I mean, I know neither of you remember the 80s, but in 86 I was 15. So I mean, I remember that time. I remember how people thought of, I mean, I was straight at the time. So but it was not a thing. I mean, you didn't see anything. To think what the courage that it took to be you know what, screw this, we're gonna go have a picnic and we're calling it Pride, and we're gonna have our own Pride, and that it's still going from then is utterly amazing. And True. It's so important to think about, what they had to get. It wasn't, I mean, people talk about, and not to say that it isn't scary right now, because it can be, and it is. But then that was before anything had happened at all. There was no gay marriage. Good Lord, that's never going to happen. Things like that. There was no safety for anything. No, I mean, hell, women had just gotten to be to the point where they could have their own credit card. I mean, So it takes courage, and we have to. They deserve to have the recognition that we can give them.
That's right. Yep. And I'm so curious, speaking of history, and you mentioned Bob, and, I just got to go to this book reading author event, for this new book that came out called Remember the Maine. And it's literally the story of how the Maine Club came to be, and really how Bob is sort of the main architect of that. And then it was so cool to hear the author talk about just how he moved in community. He didn't care, who you were. If you needed help, he showed up. He'd get people to show up. He was sort of that connector person in the community. And yeah, it is so just powerful, I think, to think about the folks like Bob and you, Kristy. You know, you were here before too, and so many other folks who, like you said, like had to be pretty visible in a time when we weren't talking about gay folks. We weren't talking about trans folks. I don't even know if I can't remember when the word transgender sort of was coined, if that was sort of like the early
after 86, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, so much has changed in terms of progress made, and yet in this current moment it feels like there's folks battling to bring us back. And so
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like, acknowledging the history of it feels super important. And so, I mean, y'all talked a little bit about this, having sort of the historical tent and then the Treader collection, which, yeah, if you don't know about that, definitely go check them out. Check them out at Pride. But yeah, what else is happening? I know this year there's sort of a newer crew of planning folks who have been involved with that. And so, for folks who don't know, DS Pride is a nonprofit, right?
Yes. It's a completely volunteer organization. So everyone on the committee volunteers time, skills, energy, laughter to everything that happens.
Yeah, so it's sort of for folks who don't know or maybe haven't thought about it. So it's a committee, where you have chairs like yourself or co-chairs, and then there's like a treasurer, right? And maybe like a social media or communications, or, there's so many different pieces of planning so many events like this under one umbrella of Pride. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear what y'all are excited about, being a newer crew, and there are a lot of newer events happening this year. Mm-hmm. So either one, if Del or Kristy, if you want to start off.
Yeah, well, the first thing that's happening is actually a couple of days before the events go into full swing, and that's Octavius Forte's director's cut of pre-DS Pride celebration. And so Octavia, she is amazing. We love her. She is doing a show with all of the directors of the local drag troops to kind of just kick things off and bring that together. And again, it's perfect because it's bringing the community into one space, which I think is always the vision and the hope for Pride. And it's happening with the very first event. So I'm very excited for that. And so that's on the Saturday before Pride, which I believe is the 29th, if my memory serves correct. Yeah. And that's Superior Flame for that one. And then Tuesday and Wednesdays is kind of like the lead up with some art shows, speed friending on the Tuesday, a bike ride, the Pride Ride, going on Wednesday. And then everything kicks off officially on the 3rd with our mayor's reception, which is one of the 3 annual events that happen every single year, which is just kind of like, it's a free reception. Come, there's free food, free drinks, free music. It's a great time to just kind of hang out, get to see people, not too much chaos going on, so you can kind of start the weekend off with a chill event. And then I could list every single event. There's a lot of them, as Sean already mentioned.
You'd be here all day.
Right, we don't have time. I know. And it is interesting though, the mayor's reception has, I don't know how long historically that event has been a part of sort of the kickoff of Pride, but that feels important, at a time when a lot of our leadership at different levels of the government are, either really outspokenly against our community, and I think it's really easy to not show up and to not be visible, if you're a leader who may even be supportive. And so do y'all know which mayors? I know usually it's like Duluth, Superior, sometimes Two Harbors. Are there a couple of folks?
Gotten RSVPs from all 3 of them. They're the normal, they're the ones that we reach out to each year. I think Two Harbors is a relatively recent addition over the past couple of years, I think. Kristy would know a little bit more.
No, I think they've been inviting the Two Harbors mayor for a long time.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
I believe 10 years ago when I was co-chair that Two Harbors mayor was there.
Awesome.
I could be wrong, but I believe so.
They'll be there, and we have some different awards we're doing that night as well. We have the Trash Cats performing as our band, and that's also one of our ASL interpreted events too. So we have a few of those throughout the weekend as well. And that's where we start to kick things off at the bars as well, with the Duluth Flame having their Pride karaoke. And then there's bar events the rest of the weekend as well. They're super important to the community. There are ongoing and longtime supporters of Pride. A lot of people from the different bars are very heavily involved in previous years and in this year as well. So just a lot of engaging the community with all of that. There's our Pride Festival, obviously, on Saturday. And I'm going to actually let Kristy talk about that because of all the vendors. We have some nice vendors coming. So I'm going to make you talk.
Yes, we have lots of vendors. Over 150. Yeah.
Wow, we're one of them.
yes, you are. There's going to this year's we have we're calling it the Over the Rainbow Market, and it's kind of off to the side, but it's for like smaller local makers, and it's kind of a reduced price, so it's kind of an entry level kind of vending situation. But there will be everything over there is, handmade in one way or another, or hand designed at least, things like that. There's, I think, 32 of them over there, so that'll be cool. There'll be a little kids area.
That's in addition to the 150 vendors.
It's included with the 150.
Okay, I was like, damn.
Yeah. No, it's included. So there'll be like 120-ish in the whole. But yeah.
And the really exciting thing about that is the majority of the vendors in the Over the Rainbow Market have never been able to vend at Pride before.
Yeah, the vast majority of our new.
So opening up this space has gotten like 20 plus new vendors that are local, that are largely queer owned. And it's just a really great way to bring people to them, bring them to the community. So we're really excited about that for this year.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm so glad that it went over as well as it did. And hopefully it can just continue to grow, because I think it's a great idea. Not saying that just because it was my idea.
This happened.
No one on the Pride Committee does things by themselves. It's not a thing. What else? We have a great lineup. We were talking about Octavia earlier. They're on the entertainment committee. So Octavia / Bryn is part of the entertainment committee, along with Kristy and Isa. So there's lots of drag, lots of great bands. There's we'll of course have some announcements and some things to say here and there, and Octavia herself will be DJing all day. What else we got?
One of the things I'm really excited that we were able to do this year, so we have Isa as our drag coordinator. Again, love her. And we were able to help uplift her and encourage her to be able to get as many drag performers on the stage as possible. So we have 2 sections of drag, but then we also have spotlight drag performers throughout to kind of keep the flow of the event schedule going, but to be able to perform while we're doing changes over to the next band and stuff, so that as many people that are experiencing drag, want to learn more about it, want more exposure, are able to get that, and also just keep people entertained throughout the entire day. So Isa had that idea, and it's come together really nicely. So I think we have a lot of drag performers. I think there's
like five
there's
or six
spotlight, yeah, and then there's like 6 or something like that in each set. I don't remember the exact numbers, but there's a lot of drag and then a lot of local bands as well, and it's going to be a really exciting lineup. And the lineup will be posted this upcoming week, so yeah, for that.
I was just going to say, I don't see the lineup yet, but it's coming.
The Pride Guides will be out soon too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where can folks find those Pride Guides? So it's like a physical program that y'all are putting out.
Yep. So for that, they'll be available at the depot at all of the bars. We also have created kind of like a list of additional safe spaces that's posted in the Pride Guide and on our website under resources that are like, especially for like people coming up from like the cities or from out of town that like don't know all of the businesses and maybe need a step away from the very crowded, busy events, but still want to be out and about, want to get a cup of coffee, want to go find a chill place to read, that they are still safe to go in like all of their Pride glory as well. So there's a list of things like Studio Cafe, the Library, Dovetail, the Lock, White and Whisker, Empire Coffee. There's a good, decent list of all of those as well. And all of those will have the Pride Guides available kind of the week leading up and throughout the festival as well.
That is so cool. And so like all the info, everything about the events and vendors and everything is going to be in there. So you're going to want to go out and find one of those, folks. Find one of the Pride Guides. And then I'm guessing you'll have them available maybe at the festival like the day of too.
Yeah.
There also, if you go on dspride.org, there's a link there to the map of the festival, and you can see all of the vendors. You can search for a vendor that you're looking for. You can see where they all are, all the things as far as like where to find what at, where's the bathroom, where's some water, where's the ATM, all of that kind of stuff. So
yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a lot. And that's just through Saturday. And then, like you said, there's more of like the adult 21 plus events.
I did realize that I got to touch a little bit on Friday. We have 2 art shows going on at Zeitgeist and Pro. Free to attend. They're all local artists. So very excited for those. And then we also have a youth dance that we do every year with Lifehouse. That's available for ages 14 through 20. And then there'll be the Black Boots party over at the main club, and then the Party X, which Duluth Flame does every year as well. So very excited for those events. And Isa's Pride Drag Show is that night at the Depot as well. So please go to that. It will be fantastic.
No doubt. I know. And that's a fun space. That theater they have at the Depot is just like, the stage is massive and these performers take it up. They take it all up. It's so good.
Basically, if you're a person that loves drag, which you should, because it's amazing, it's on Friday. You have Isa's drag show at the Depot. Saturday, it's the Duluth Flames annual drag show. And then the next night, there'll be the main club's annual drag show. So every night, if you want to go see some drag, go see some drag.
Also, the show at the Depot is all ages, isn't it?
Off the top of my head, I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there's...
I have too many things in my brain.
I know, I do too, because I don't remember either. I'm almost positive that one is an all ages show. So, the rest of them being at the bars, if there's someone underage or kids or whatever, by all means,
And we will have drag story time at the festival as well, over the children's area. So...
Whoa. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So talk about, you mentioned there's a children's area. So what all's going on there for folks who are like, this isn't a family event? Yeah, it is.
Right.
The family.
There's face painting, and there'll be balloon twisting from 11 to 2. There's going to be drag story time on the hour from, I think, noon to 2. So noon, 1. No, I think it is 11 to 2. Because
It's every hour for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's noon to 3 or 11 to 2. But
Yeah.
anyways, if you hit noon, you'll be good. But there'll be story time every hour through the library. 7 Seeds will be there and have some of the dogs with them, some of the sled dogs.
And we have a juggler that will be
and the juggler
out as well.
Yeah.
And then just like kind of a little bit down the pathway is also like the Bayfront like playground as well. For kids,
Right.
They need to get out some extra energy.
And we put the kids area a little bit. It's more towards the entrance where you go into Bayfront, so that you can bring the kids there and maybe they can they have some time to see stuff that's just for them, and it's not quite in the hustle bustle of everything else. So it's a little bit more let's not rile the children up too much.
Yeah. You've been thoughtful about that. We appreciate that.
And halfway between, the rest of the festival and the play area, the park. So, it seemed like a good place to put them.
And all the performances on the stage that day are all family friendly, for all ages. So it'll be a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And then that night we go back into the 21 plus with our annual block party at the main club in Superior Flame. Just conscious in time and not being able to hit on every single event. Saturday we have our Sunday is we always do a worship service that a lot of local queer friendly churches put together. So we have that this year. And then leading into our annual Pride Parade, we have over 30 people, 30 organizations currently that have signed up for the parade. So that's super exciting. Trans Northland, now you're one of those. So always super excited for that. And then we kind of continue the day into other family-friendly events as well. So we have queer kickball. And then also the roller derby mixer, which a lot of us are super excited about. 12 and under and free with paid adults. So
they used to be in roller derby. It's fun. Go watch.
Check it out. Yes. Yeah, that seems like that's a new one. I haven't heard of that one before.
Yeah. So that and the queer kickball are new events. The Pride bike ride is a new event this year. And then we have 4 or 5 different art related type things happening throughout the week. So yeah, it's very exciting. And then we have our foo choo choo train. It always takes me a second to say that phrase.
Everyone loves the train.
Yeah, the train. And then the drag show at the main that night. And if you're wanting to go out, but you need a little bit more of a chill night, there's show tunes and karaoke at the Superior Flame. So, and then one additional event we have is actually the following day. It's limited spots, but it's just like a kayaking adventure without an active and stuff. And so we got a lot of outdoor things this year, a lot of family-friendly things this year, a lot of drag shows, a lot of art, lots of different stuff. So hopefully everyone can find something that they enjoy.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I think it would be hard not to find something that for literally anyone. I mean, I suppose
you do. Create an event and bring it to the committee next.
I was going to say, if there's anybody out there that can't find something to do and they're like, well, why don't they have this? Email us.
Let us
Tell
know
us what it is. We'll figure it out. Yeah, come on be on the committee.
Right. Yes, and we're going to get to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
I was going to say too, so if you can't remember all the things that Del and Kristy just mentioned, and they didn't even mention all of the events, here's the place, dspride.org. They have a really nicely updated website, and you can find all the info there, and in Pride Guides coming soon. So that is so exciting. And so then, yeah, okay, we just started getting into it, but how can community get more involved with Pride? And do you need help? I think I know the answer to that. Who can get involved, and like, can folks still sign up to volunteer at events?
Yeah. So I'm also the volunteer coordinator alongside my co-chair endeavors. So yeah, we are always looking for volunteers, whether it's to help serve beer at the Pride tent, kind of help check in vendors, help with general cleanup, help just staff the gate as people come in. There's all sorts of different things that it's just helpful to have extra hands on board to help make sure everything goes smoothly and that people have a fun time and a clean time. So we are still taking we take volunteers until the day for that. So the volunteer application can be found on our website. Or you can also send us an email, dspride1@gmail.com. And we can get you all set and sorted for that. And if you're looking to be more involved or just kind of see how everything is put together, the third Wednesday of each month is our monthly meetings for the committee. Everyone is welcome to join. You don't have to be in charge of anything to be involved in the community. Come join, see what it's about. If you want to help with just one aspect or bring forth an idea or an event, help with fundraising, tabling, anything like that, send us an email, join the meeting. The Zoom link, it's the same one each month, and it's right at the top of our website for anyone that wants to be involved in that.
Yeah, even if you want to just come and like check it out just one time and be like, nope, no, thank you. I just want to come listen in, be a fly on the wall. By all means, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, and I was just thinking too, I mean, after everything is done, like after y'all have survived through all of these incredible prideful events, do y'all take a break, and like what happens next? Is there a way that community can share feedback? Is that maybe the best way, is to maybe show up to a meeting and be like, hey, this is what I noticed, or I didn't see this, or whatever it is?
I mean, that'd be great. By all means. You could do that. You can email us at dspride1@gmail.com, or there's a contact form on our website. Message us through Facebook, Instagram. There's a million ways to get a hold of us. So, but please, if there's hey, I noticed this, or I noticed there wasn't this, or
or I loved that this thing was included, please do it again.
More importantly, if you want to tell us how good a job we did, by all means, please do.
That's right. That's right. Or if you want to say thank you and share gratitude to these folks, because it takes a lot of time and energy to plan an event like this with
and it's all year. It's not, and it's all year. I mean, we'll go right back into meetings. Yeah. September, the third Wednesday.
September 16th.
Yeah, there you go.
The
next meeting.
Tired and crazy, but that's okay. That's what it's all about.
Well, and this is why they're the person who takes care of all the details.
That's right. That's right. And then, is it still right? I know I think I've only been to a couple of Pride meetings over the years, but is it usually like at the December meeting? Then that is when like voting is happening, sort of, because every year the team could potentially switch. Like it could be a whole new team, and so can anyone show up? Like, could I show up at the December meeting and be like, I want to be the co-chair? Not that I would ever do that.
I'm ready
I mean, to be put on the ballot and things like that, you have to be a member, yes?
Yeah, and I think
answer that question.
Yeah, so for that, it is kind of like, kind of need to know who you are a little bit. But it can be, it's very much like up to the committee. Anyone can put their name forward. for a nomination. But yep, the votes, an election happens each year right now in December at that December meeting. If you're interested in a position, want to know more about what it all entails, please reach out. We're always looking for people who want to get involved, have the skill sets to help out, and want to. Yes, and please.
Yes, I hear that. There's always volunteer needs for these community volunteer-run organizations. So we need y'all. We need more folks and more help, right? Come on in. All right. Well, holy moly. It's like our conversations always, if you've ever tuned into this live show, it's like it flies by the time. But so we always like to sort of wrap things up with asking our guest stars about self-care. And so, you know, that's sort of a thing that's been kind of commodified and turned into like bubble baths and like, you know, kind of silly stuff. But we actually do believe that self-care is like imperative to survive just in general, but especially now in this current moment of American, you know, United States history. And so, yeah, like, how are y'all taking care of yourselves? Things are stressful. The news is yikes almost every time I open it. What does self-care look for each of you? Del, do you want to start?
Yeah. So one of the things I've recently been doing with a group of friends of mine, because they've started inviting me out, is we go to like bingo every other week, kind of. And like it's not something I ever would have like thought would be self-care, but like especially for me who I am, I get to sit around with my friends, maybe have a cider, and I have a task in front of me of playing bingo. So I can't be on my phone. I can't look at like, okay, what's the message? What's the email I need to send? Like if I do that, I'm gonna lose track of where I am in the game. And it's helped me a lot to like be present with my friends and just like, oh, there's no objective other than to just hang out. And it's actually been like very like helpful and a great thing to do. And the community I have around me is very special. If I'm not taking care of myself, they make sure that that's happening, whether it's you're coming over and eating dinner and you have no say, or telling me to maybe not sign up for another thing, though I sometimes do that without them knowing. But
That's true.
Yeah, I've tried to dial that down. It's half worked. But yeah, it's I found that a good way to take care of yourself is just, okay, what gives me the least amount of stress level, and then invest in it a little bit, like reading books. I have no stress when I'm reading books. I'm just in my little corner in my comfy chair, disappearing into a different world. And it just helps. It recharges, and find the thing that recharges you and makes you happy. Invest in it as much as you can, because as Sean said, the world's a scary place. There's a lot of stuff going on, and so that stuff's really important. And maybe go play some bingo. I don't know.
There you go. Bingo. I love it.
Good deal.
How about you, Kristy?
Like I said earlier, I mean, not to be too cliche, but you know, I just kind of have been getting back into my femininity. So like doing my nails and like taking care of my skin, and you know, I say doing my nails and they look terrible right now, but things like that, you know, I mean, doing my hair and those kind of things are wonderful. Spending time with this goofball.
That's always a great answer.
Always, you know, seriously, this dog is everything. I love this dog. He's a little annoying sometimes, but we love him. I don't know. Other than that, I just try a lot of health concerns that have happened lately, and you know, I just kind of try to take them with grace, and you know, just okay, well, let's just do the thing, you know. And yeah, just kind of accept things that you can't change. You know, I mean, I do what I can about it, and then I have to leave it alone, you know.
Yeah.
there isn't anything more I can do about it, so I'm not going to wallow about it either. So trying to do that, which is harder than it sounds, it's not just like, but trying to do that and then like physically taking care of myself. That's kind of how I take care of myself.
Yes, I love that. Thanks, y'all, for sharing. I know my therapist was just having me, literally my homework is to be working on like sort of a self-care checklist, and she talked about like different forms of self-care. And I feel like I heard that in both of y'all's answers where it's like, excuse me, like self-care where it's like, it's just you at home. You don't have to do anything. Maybe you're scrolling on TikTok or watching a movie, or you're doing those sort of more productive things for your overall health, right? Whether it's drinking water or, having a meal or those things that some of us who are, I think, neurodivergent, tend to like miss meals and things like that. And it's like, grab a snack, but then the other pieces around self-care with others and like how that just really does lift us up to be with our people where there's, no expectations. We can just show up and be us and laugh and have fun and enjoy each other. So yeah, I really appreciate how y'all both talked about sort of both of those things. And of course, we cannot, thank our furry friends enough. My 2 cats are somewhere around here. So if you're lucky enough to have a furry friend or two, that's
or
always
find friends that have them and befriend those friends and take over their dogs.
There you go. If you cannot have a pet, yes, go visit.
I have done that with several of my friends.
Yes.
I love that. Well, my goodness, yeah, time has come to an end here for our conversation. I just want to throw up y'all's website again one more time for folks to find all the info details. You'll be able to see the vendor list and a map and who sponsored Pride. I always think that's interesting to look at and like then go support those folks who are showing up and sponsoring with their paychecks and their wallets. So yeah, go check out the website. And like they said, there's so many ways you can get in touch with these folks at DS Pride, through Facebook, Instagram, email, all the ways. So it sounds like from what I took away from this conversation that they want to hear from community. They want to be kind of open to that feedback and like continue to create these Pride events that feel good for so many of us in our community when there's so many different identities and ways folks show up in communities. So get in touch with them. And for those of you who don't know about our live stream show, we usually are actually live every other Wednesday at noon on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. And so we have some really fun, cool guest stars coming up in the future. So mark your calendars for that every other Wednesday. And as a reminder, you can follow us, Trans Northland, on Facebook, Instagram. We've got an email list. Get in touch. We also always want to hear from our folks in community. I think that's all the stuff I'm supposed to say. And just finally, like one more time, thank you so much to Del and Kristy for taking the time to come on and just share all things Pride with us. There's so much, and it just feels so exciting. And
thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Heck yes. Well, thanks again to all of y'all who tuned in and listened in on this conversation. We're just grateful to be connected with all of y'all here in this Northland community. And until next time, take good care of yourselves, reach out, connect with your people, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Thank you so much, Sean.